Hey everyone, how are we doing today? This is a pull copter, and it was designed by a super awesome maker over on Printables, Meister Idol. The kind of story behind this one is Meister Idol's kid came home and was disappointed because their friend had a pull copter toy from a local dollar store, and they wanted one on their own. So got right to work on designing this super awesome thing, and it is a ton of fun. There are quite a few options as far as customization goes, especially when it comes to the propellers. There are big ones, small ones, weird ones, in between ones, and there are different options that you can print for the pull rod, which actually meshes with this gear inside, and that is what spins the propeller up. Now, this toy is called a pull copter because you pull the cord and the propeller spins and will launch into the air. Super fun. I still would be careful. I wouldn't exactly go launching it at windows or playing with it with small animals around, just to be safe. Definitely a toy for outside. And we'll actually be taking a look at how high we can get this thing to fly when we go outside in a minute. First, check out this totally awesome time lapse. I put a ton of effort into editing this. More energy than I think that I probably should have spent on a 3D printing time lapse, but here it is. I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. I probably put way more energy into it than I should have, especially given it's just a 3D printing time lapse. But I think it's really cool, and if you do and you want to see more things like that, let me know in the comments below. So now, on this cold, windy Ohio day, let's take this thing outside and give it a spin. Okay, so it is cold and it is windy. We're not looking for height on these launches. We just want to see how far we can get these to launch. I'm hoping I don't lose any more on the roof. Here is the torpedo. And it's so light, I'm having a hard time keeping it on the shaft. I flew so well. Now we have the big. I believe this is 120 millimeter size. All right, for our last launch, we have our kind of medium. I believe this is 90 millimeter. I could be backwards. The last one could have been 140 and this might be 120. Either way, let's send it. Throw it across the road. Now I gotta go find them. Okay, so we didn't exactly get to give this thing as many test flies as I'd like, because the weather hasn't fully broken in Ohio yet. Being said, I'm really looking forward to the springtime when it fully is in effect and I can take this thing out on a not super windy day, so I don't continue to lose these things on the roof. I said earlier in the video that this was not my first launcher handle, and that is absolutely the case. This mess is. And why is it a mess? Why is there gray all over that thing? Well, I actually made a couple mistakes. I tried to glue the assembly together and I got a little bit overzealous with the super glue. I didn't follow the instructions on where the glue should go. There's mistake number one. Mistake number two was I actually tried to use dry moly lube to act as a lubricant, so that way any of the parts that were meshing together, there weren't any issues. Being said, I achieved a way bigger mess that I set out to. I ended up with super glue all over my hands. My toy doesn't spin very freely anymore. And the dry moly loop, this is my first time using it, I actually purchased it for some laser engraver projects, got everywhere, and it turned the handle gray, and my hands were gray for a day or so. So we are done with that one. It still works, just not as well as this one that I have not glued together. Now, I would suggest that you follow the instructions and put a dab of glue on the model. Definitely pull up the file on printables. The link will be in the description of this video. I'm not going to do that because, well, I'm tired of being covered in super glue. It happens every time I touch the stuff. I mean, I always make a mess. And frankly, my toy works just great how it is. Now, if you actually want to make a pull copter of your own, in the description, there will be a link to the model. What's really cool is Meister Idol actually has open sourced the propeller design. I mean, it wouldn't be super hard to design the center shaft, but they've actually included step files in the printables file. So that way you can design your own propellers. Whether you want to make a medium one, a little one, or a weird one. If you do design your own propellers, make sure you tag me on Instagram or Twitter because I'd love to see them. Or if you just make one of these super awesome toys for yourself, make sure you upload your make on printables so that way you get your Prusa meters and we can help to give this super awesome designer their credit. And that's kind of all we have time for today. And then the little itty bitty fella should get moving pretty quick.